sit here for a minute and see if anybody comes in. Peace, my beloved sister. How are you? Thanks for coming in. Rottweiler, peace. Peace, brother Danubian. That has been perplexing me, has been vexing me. Peace, S. Wiseman. Thank you for showing up. Peace, Regina. Thank you. How's everybody been? Peace, Angela. See you this time. What time is your news notes on the news feed going to be starting? Peace, Unsunken One. Peace, Mother Nature. Angela, do you know what time your notes on the news feed is going to be starting today? Peace, Larry. It's good to see you here. Oh, soon. Oh, you're reading the feed now, selecting stories. Okay, I'll try not to make this run on so that everybody that's here can go run over to Angela's feed when this when this is over with. Peace, Crystal Clear. I'll have to put my glasses on. Peace, you're real nuts. Okay, I'm gonna go and get started. This is actually gonna be kind of a. I wish there was a way to. I wish I knew how to do the stream so that people could join the panel. But I know right now I'm not able to do that only because of this the way that this is working. My this system. Peace. First off, give me a 1 if you can hear me. Okay, thank you. The way this one's going to be, I'm really actually not going to do a whole lot of talking. When I said I have a question, that's literally what I meant. I'm going to ask the question of you who are watching and listening, and see what your answer is, and see how you feel about it. Because to be honest, I'm perplexed. So, I just saw True Royal Families share a little while ago when she was commenting on the 5 sisters who went to the golf course, and of course, you know, the white boys got all up in arms about it, and of course, True Royal Family gave them that work. She had some excellent commentary on that, and I started thinking about it, and then just about half an hour ago, I saw another an update on the story about the man in Canada that. So I started thinking about things. I said, now you got these mass shootings, you got the bombings, you got poisonings, you got people rolling over people with cars, you got that incident happening at the golf course, yeah, what happened at Starbucks, and so my question becomes this, and I really from the bottom of my heart I mean this, and I'm going to read your answers after I ask it. What is it going to take before we figure out we need to get the hell away from these people? And I mean that. I absolutely mean that. What is it going to take before we figure out we need to get the hell out from under these people and get away from them. Please, somebody enlighten me. Help me with this. So I'm going to read what you have to say. Tell me something. Peace, Lisa. I see you in there. Thanks, Sister Cabrera, for showing up. KD84. Peace, KD. That's Wiseman. I know you've been ready to separate for years. I know. Crystal clear. Many are called, but few are chosen. It's pitiful, but a lot of our people are gone. I agree. Right, brother the Nubian. What WTF is it going to take? Sister Ajalee, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Allah will make you separate. So it's going to get worse. Rottweiler, build our own community. No coons allowed. Yeah, that's a definite solution. Peace, Nudit, and peace, Salano. Peace, Lightbearer. Be fabulous, you. That's Angela. We're already separated and separating more and more. Are we? I mean, I guess I guess we are. I asked the same question. Tell the ones I care about what we need to do. They're so in love with people, they miss the message. I know exactly what you're talking about. I guess part of my frustration comes from dealing with my best friend. Now I have a best friend. We've been friends since we were 15. So we've been friends over 40 years. And I mean best friends. And he's one of these. Well, I can't blame all white people for what a few of them are doing. And so number one is not about blaming anybody. It's about, as I try to explain to him, it is about the fact that we are not the same. We are different peoples. And I'm seeing that as part of the issue is that a lot of us as Black people, not through any fault of our own, by the way, because it's because of the society that we were raised in, that we just like are, people are just people, and all this crap. People are not just people. My pineal gland is not calcified. People are not just people. We don't think the same. We don't have the same backgrounds. We don't have the same spirituality. We don't have the same anything. We just look the same because we have arms, legs, a head, in a head. So when people get caught up in this, all people are the same, we're just different colors. That's not true. Excuse me, but I'm preaching to the choir. Let me read some more responses. Because I'm really trying to work through this thing because it's getting to the point that it's starting to bother me, especially when I see all the different things that are happening to and with our people. Because we, like I said, when I see it, I'm like, what's it going to take before we wake up and see that we need to get away from these people, if for no other reason than for our own safety and sanity? We don't need to be all up in their spaces and all this. Okay, so crystal clear, Black people need to begin to love themselves more than they love white people. Come together and build. The self-esteem is too low. I agree with you. Sonia sees from a collective of all like minds, a chosen few, to pool resources, live among ourselves, our own schools, businesses, philosophy, be selfish with our Blackness, guard our culture. I 100% agree. And I actually has said something like that to my See, unsunken one. Currently, I don't permit whites within a 12-foot radius of me. I'm in public spaces now, and I'll get up and move if they come too close to me. You know, I was thinking about the fact that back in the day, and a lot of you are a lot younger than me, but I remember back in the day when I was a child, I could literally go outside and eat dirt and not get sick. I mean, us children would be outside playing, and we'd be dirty, grimy. We'd be making mud pies. We'd be playing, and literally eating dirt and not get sick. Now they got like hand sanitizer and all this different stuff. You got to be careful how you touch what you touch. You go to the grocery store and they got this sanitizer so you can clean off the cart before you use it and all this. And I'm like, people are nasty. And I particularly believe that it's white people that's nasty like that. And you know, it's like fecal. I believe that we need to try as much as possible to be in our own spaces. Now, I have to add in, by candlelight, you just need to turn the lights off and the food glows. You know, everything, especially if you're having a seafood dinner, you know. So I don't know. We need to get out from under. Hold on, I'm going to read some more comments. Light bearer, my baby eats flowers. Children are supposed to play in grass and dirt. Right, Sonia, see? Radical Home Sister, too. Yep, there's a university that wiped out all of their outdoor expeditions. Did they? Solano, I say that all the time. Right, Radical Home Sister. It's the radiation. It's the radiation. Because of Fukushima. And look, I'm not gonna go into it because I'm still researching. Sister Anjali, you know that I'm doing the research. But that's exactly what's happening. KD84, throw your boy a AK. Oh man, okay. Okay, well here's my next question then, because I think that everyone that's in this room, because the question was actually kind of a preaching to the choir kind of question, because the ones who are in the room right now, we already know that we need to separate. And I'm always saying, if anyone watches my shares, you know that I'm always saying that first it takes separating it here, and then we can physically separate. Well, let me ask you this: put yourself in my shoes and think of people in your own lives that you know you're trying to talk to them, but it's like you may as well be talking to a wall now, or else they just don't seem to get it. Now, I think we all have like people in our lives like that. I'm seriously getting to the place where I'm like, I can't time is short, and I don't have time to be holding anyone's hand. The building that we need to do, we have to do immediately and deliberately, and nobody has any time anymore to try to drag people with them. Either you wake up and get with the program, or I'm going to have to leave you back there. At some point, I'm going to have to just leave you back there to figure it out for yourself. And hopefully I'll see you at the finish line. But if I don't, You know, I don't. Just drop my nose. Peace, Avery. I'm just now seeing you here. Oh, peace, Gwen B. I'm just now seeing you in here also. Grace A. Peace. When I joined the repatriating of Africa group, that's what awakened my mentality to build with like-minded people. And I think that's what it's going to take. Your radical home sister. Oh, you're talking to somebody. Rottweiler. I'm trying to figure out what part of Africa I wanted to go to. I know I always went to go to Cape Town. Lisa Cabrera. It may be safer to do more shopping online and find black businesses in our areas. That's Wiseman. How many more of our people have to be killed before we realize the universe is calling us to separate? That's my question exactly. Peace, Mr. Pirate Brain. Thank you for coming in. But that, I guess that's my question exactly. I find myself asking that over and over. Radical Home Sister, sadly, I'm not in the position. Oh, you're talking to Sonia. Let's see. Angela is saying connecting to honoring self is primary. Separating from them is secondary at best. I see what you're saying, and I agree. I do agree. And this is one of these I agree, but no, I totally agree with you, Angela. I'm actually trying to shift my whole mentality to where I'm not concerned about what white people do, what coons do, what anybody does, and just totally moving toward our goals and connecting with like-minded people and us, figuring out what it is that we need to do, how we need to go about doing it, and to do it. So I 100% agree with you, Angela. You're dead on. You're spot on with that. Rottweiler. A lot of people, a lot of black people. I agree. And one of the biggest problems that we have is that we're underestimating or not recognizing or not realizing that what you're dealing with is a calcified pineal gland. So you can't reach them like that. When you're taking your attributes and trying to apply them to someone else. Just like I won't go through the whole story of the turtle and the scorpion, but everybody who knows that story, halfway across the river, scorpion stings him. Turtle says, "Why'd you do it?" Says, "Because I'm a scorpion." It didn't matter that it. For those who don't know the story, for those who do, I apologize for boring you, but for those who don't. There's a turtle and a scorpion. There's a lake. The scorpion wants to get to the other side of the lake, and the turtle's getting ready to go. The scorpion says, "Can I ride on your back?" The turtle says, "No, you're gonna sting me." And the scorpion says, "No, why would I sting you? If I did that, then both of us would die." The turtle says, "That's reasonable." So the scorpion gets on. He lets the scorpion get on his back. They're going halfway across. The scorpion stings him in his neck. And the turtle turns and says, "Why'd you sting me? Now we're both going to die." And the scorpion says, "Because I'm a scorpion. That's what I do." So it doesn't, logic doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's logical that you would try to save your own life or that you wouldn't do this so that you don't kill yourself also. Logic has nothing to do with this. It's all about nature. It's all about the nature of who you're dealing with, and just like I think as Rottweiler had just said, you're not gonna hug the devil out of him. You're not gonna you can't talk peace. And the other thing is that you can't be at peace with someone who is at war with you. You know, you can want to be at peace all you want, but if someone's at war with you, you can't be at peace. You cannot be at peace. And when they talk about compromises, when white people talk about compromises with black people, white people's compromise is, okay, so you guys promise to stop saying anything else, anything about the racism, anything about us not treating you like people and treating you like second-class citizens and all that. You won't do that anymore. No, we won't do that anymore. Okay, good. That's our compromise. You know, as long as everything, the ball is in their court and everything is in their favor and going their way, then everything is fine as far as they're concerned. But that's you gotta read some more comments. And thank you, family, because you're helping me. I gotta figure this out. Peace, love, like the sun. I'm just not seeing you. Our adult family folks that are still asleep want to stay asleep and want to be carried to freedom, and that's part of the problem. It is. That's Christianity and white Jesus. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but that is part of the. Why would I base anything that I do upon a religious system that my enemy gave me, and that when I look at them, they don't even follow it. They don't follow it, but they give it to me and want me to follow it to the letter. It makes absolutely no sense. And I grew up in the church. I mean, big time grew up in the church. So, and I was apostolic. So if any of you who know what that is, you know I was like all about that. And now, brother, I'm telling you, you get mad when you realize that you've been duped. That's all I can say. Lisa Cabrera, my last white friend was in 2007. Oh, that's way you left him way back there, Sister Lisa. Oh, Grace A. What I was trying to figure out was I went into talking about all the things that have been happening lately in the news. I mean, it's always been happening, but we're just hearing story after story of not only what white people are doing to black people, but also what they're doing to each other, running each other down and mass shooting each other and all this and all these things. And my original question was, what is it going to take before our people realize that we need to separate? Because after a while, it's like at some point you're like, what in the world is it going to take? Is there anything that they can do that will make you want to separate from them or realize you need to get the hell away from them? You know, so oh man. Just like they talk about, you know, needing a house, or an old saying goes, I don't have to have a house fall down on my head to know I need to get out. But evidently some of us do. And like Sister Anjali says, unfortunately, and she's speaking in reference mostly to like what's happening with Fukushima and the radiation. But, you know, unfortunately, it may, you know, it'll take the die off before people realize, you know, this thing is for real. And also with that, just with what's happening with white people in general, I'm saying that, you know, it may actually take something like really big, you know, monumental before people start to wake up. But there's an old saying, another old saying that goes, you know, by the time you see it coming, it's already too late. So we need to keep that in mind too. Love like the sun. Iyapo, you're right. We cannot be at peace with someone that's at war with you. It just doesn't work. Until that logic sets in, change will continue to be slow as hell. Yes, ma'am. We have become connected to white supremacy. It has both a part. It has become part of our identity. That is an unfortunate truth. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit here. Lisa Cabrera, I used to say I would rather be in a den of hyenas than with another white friend. And actually, it's kind of the same thing. Unsunken one, I threw off the shackles of religion 2 years back. I had a very, very close friend, Black woman, and she said something I never forget, because we were both church folk at the time, and she said, I never came out of a nightclub, I never walked out of a nightclub crying, and I never ever forgot that when she said that, because and what she was saying. What she was saying was that there were many times that she ended up walking out of church crying. But she said, I never walked out of a nightclub crying. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. But again, everybody in this room knows that. Because I'm talking to, and this is what's so beautiful about these kind of gatherings, is that you're talking to a bunch of white people. And we're trying to figure our way through this thing. So, you're real nuts. I'm surrounded by them. I'm very pro-black too. I knock all of their propaganda down when they try talking how they've created how they've created things, and they hate me for it. Try to be my friend. So not to get me riled. Yeah, they say sneaky snake. Peace, NJ Progressive Indy. I'm just now seeing you in here. Biggest problem is some of our best media are still. Hold on, we have to just freeze this real quick so I get back to what you were saying. Is that some of our best minds are still fighting clickbait social media wars with too many of our people, and squaring off into camps against each other based on who they support. What NJ Progressive Indy, you are so on point. I almost don't even know how to respond to that. That is so on point. And I'm going to read it again so I can read it right. The way that you wrote it, because that was so on point. Biggest problem is some of our media minds are still fighting clickbait social media wars, and too many of our people are squaring off into camps against each other based on who they support. That is so true. And my whole thing is, I support the truth. That's what I support. I support the truth. All this, all this, all this, just like NJ said, the squaring off online. Number one is social media. It's social media. It's not this. It's not the real world. I mean, it's not the world that's out there that we walk out the door and deal with every day. We come here, we meet, we have different personas. Everybody, you don't know anything about the people or their lives that you're talking. If you believe I'm wearing pants right now, put a 1 up in the thing. If you don't believe I'm wearing pants, put a 2. Because you don't know. You don't know. Oh, I'm gonna show you. No, I'm wearing pants. I'm wearing pants, but my point is, people, I'm wearing pants. See, that's what. I knew Gwen B was gonna say, but but all I'm trying to say is people present these personas online, and you don't know who they are or whatever, and a lot of times, I won't even say a lot of times, you get cases where people will they're just trying to either aggrandize themselves or whatever, and excuse me, and they basically say what they know people want to hear, and it they build up followings and all this different stuff, and then people start to follow them like they're gods or something. And now I understand loyalty. As a matter of fact, loyalty in any capacity is admirable, but we have to take more time to examine right and wrong among our own people. Just a second, I'm gonna drink some. And Angela, this is glass. It's glass. Angela told me get rid of the plastic. So okay. So I see. So I took your advice. There's no lemon in it, just because I feel like cutting any. But we have to be more concerned about the truth than we are about about personalities and cults of personality and all this different stuff. I don't need anybody's protection. The different YouTubers or whatever, if somebody's coming at them, they can defend themselves. If there's something that can be spoken to directly as a point, that's one thing. But just blindly defending people, all it does is create a great big mess and have us fighting among each other. And that's another one of the things that we need to eradicate from our number, because ultimately, if we're fighting with each other, ultimately we have like it's like we're fighting a war on like several different fronts at once. Not only are we dealing with white supremacy and racism, we're also dealing with each other. We're dealing with an educational system that's against us. We're dealing with a police presence that's against us. We're dealing with a financial system that's against us. And in the midst of all of that, we're still dealing with like the 1% that's at the top that's screwing everybody over. White, black, whatever. So you got this group that's like screwing over everybody at the same time, and even within that mess and chaos, we're dealing with another ball of chaos at the same time, and it's a hot mess. So let me read what you guys are saying, because I'm talking too much. Yes, my stream, but I'm wearing pants. I showed you I'm wearing pants. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit because I was running my mouth. And you get one YouTuber. This is S. Wiseman. One YouTuber doesn't like me because I subbed to someone who is blocked by Sinji. See that? Oh my God! And S. Wiseman, I'll bet all you're thinking is, would you please grow up? Grow up. Radical Home Sister 2, people come up here playing games. Right. And you know how I feel about that. Peace. I don't see a post from you, Royal Lioness. If you're in here, peace to you. I'm seeing someone else. has commented to you. So that's why I'm speaking. Crystal clear. I'm still scrolling down to the different comments. Radical Home Sister, you can tell a lot about a person by who they don't like and how many they don't like. That's true. It's like all these people follow Nature Boy. Mr. Pirate Brain said that. Jocelyn A. You don't have. We don't have loyalty. We have like goals. That's a problem. You see, crystal clear. Be fabulous, you. Oh, okay, you're talking to her. Mr. Pirate Brain, directly to me. Everybody should watch the movie called Battle for Algiers. It's a black and white movie from the 60s. We need to clear out the pimps, pushers, and whores before we can really fight. I have to agree with that. But here's the thing though, and I kind of base this upon some of the psychopathist said in his excellent fired up live stream was when I look at our people, I used to look at like I hate to use the terms, but for the sake of this stream, I'll use them, like thugs or hood rats or what. I used to look at them with a kind of disdain because I don't like that element of our community. However, and this is a big however, were it not for the system that created, were it not for the system that created the environments that caused these things to happen, we would just be a normal people, just living our lives. I'm often going back to, and I've given the link a million times. I often go back to the study that they did. It was a 20-year study, 20 years, where they studied crime rates and homicide rates in middle and upper middle class. Now, this is predominantly white people, but there were black people in it also because there are black people in the middle and upper middle class and wealthy. And what they found was that in 20 years, in a 20-year span, not a couple, in a 20-year span, the amount of murders or the percentage of murders that were committed by white people was 100%. Not one black person in that demographic committed a homicide. So you're talking, so in the middle and upper middle class and rich, when you remove black people from a violent environment, when you remove black people from an environment where they're struggling, when you remove black people from an struggle, right? They just live. They just live their lives in peace. And we're talking about 20 years. If you want me to give you put a link to that study under in this one, then just give me a number one. But yeah, it was an amazing study. It broke down other crimes, but I was particularly looking at the murder rates or the homicide rates. Okay, crystal clear. I'll put them in there. Okay, Radical Home Sister. I'll put it there. But when you look at that over 20 years, it was from 1955 to 1975. And for me, at least, it showed that that what that equally, like when you remove black people from certain environments, that we're just peaceful people. It equally showed that white people, if you are poor, if you're middle class, if you're rich, you still run around killing everybody and shooting up everything. The guy shot up Vegas. You know, he's supposedly rich, or you have these wealthy. You know, some of these are psyops, but what I'm saying is, and false flags, but the ones that are real, it's always somebody that's from some middle class family, some white kid from some middle class family, some white man that has money or whatever, and the only problems that they have are problems that they create for themselves. So, yeah, 20 years, 0 homicides committed by black people. But we're violent. And it also, that same study had like some other crimes in it, and I didn't read into those too deeply. But those crimes were predominantly committed by white people, from what I remember. So, excuse me, just a moment. I'm gonna scroll this up just a little bit. I'm gonna end the stream in a few minutes because I don't want to run in. I don't want to run into Angela's time. Grace A, when you remove those obstacles from white people, they want more. Exactly right. I'm sorry, Grace A. You're seeing a lot of buffering. Lisa Cabrera, they can't be satisfied. That's true. They're like a bottomless pit. This is all excellent. Black Justice 32, peace. I'm just not seeing you in here. White people put black people in a skinnier box. A skinnier box is an experiment, Dr. B.F. Skinner. Oh, in a Skinner box, I'm sorry. Did with a rat in a maze. He created a reward and punishment for the rat. Black people, we are that rat. Yeah, that's true. Love like the sun. We need to keep our so-called thugs and bad boys. They're our army. Get rid of the pimps and pushers. You left out the coons. Don't ever leave out the coons. I know you was thinking about them though. Yeah, don't ever leave out the coons. Step brother, peace. Thank you for coming in. Your YouTube is afraid of your message. Why would anybody be afraid of little old me? Okay, I'm gonna close this chat in a minute, but you know what? I just so much appreciate everybody that came in, because what I was asking was a serious question. Oh, you know what? I missed one of my notes. This is just something to chew on before I go. They have a lot of laws in the United States to make it so that black people and people of other races, but mostly black people, don't get mistreated, like Fair Housing Commission and organizations and laws. You like Fair Housing Commission and anti-discrimination laws and so on. When you live in a country where laws have to be created to force a people to treat another people right, and in that same country, you will find no laws or organizations created to force other people to have to treat white people right, because none are really necessary. I think that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about that country. That's just something to chew on. So I'm going to go on and close up. I want to speak to everybody that's in the... Oh no, don't do that. Just a moment, because I'm changing this to so I can see who's in here, so I can make sure I don't miss anybody. Because I missed people last time, and I don't. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna go down the list because we have Avery in here. Be fabulous, you. I'll catch you on your live stream. Uh, Sister Angela from Be Fabulous You is going to be streaming. I don't know how soon after this one stops, but it'll be sometime. I guess sometime after this one stops, she can let us know. You can go on and let them know, Angela, and I'll be there. Brother Danubian, peace to you. Crystal Clear, Grace A, Gwen B, always excellent to see you. Jay Bart, I'm glad that I did this so that I can see. Thank you for being here. Jocelyn A, KD84. You was on fire up in Psycho's chat, or Psycho's live stream too. You had me, I ain't gonna lie, you had me busting out laughing because you be laying them out. KD84. Love Like the Sun. Mr. Pirate Brain, Nicole Ali, thank you for being here. NJ Progressive Indie, Poetic Beauty, 007, Peace. Regina Davidson, Rottweiler Morris, S. Wiseman, as always, Step Brother, Unsunken One, and my beautiful, most precious sister, Sister Anjali. And I think I got everybody. Tonight will be A Black Man's Journey live. At 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I can't even lie and say that I have the subject picked out. I was meaning to do a poll this week, but I'll have figured it out before we get on there. I have an idea for it because I have some notes already. But again, Black Man's Journey live tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I will see you there. Angela, I guess I'll see you in a few. So that's about it. I'm going to close up and go put some pants on. Peace.